Hey, it's Mike from the Run Testers. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this shoe. This is the Hoka Oni Oni Clifton 8. Obviously the follow-up to the Clifton 7, which we have done a video on the channel already last year. So it's still a neutral road running shoe, very much kind of fits that daily trainer profile. There's actually some interesting new things that Hoka has introduced here on this shoe, which I'll take you through. I've only had it for a few days. I'm the first one in the team to get a pair. We're all going to be getting a pair to test out, so we will do a multi-tester review of it. For now though, these are kind of my initial thoughts on what it's like to run with off one run. Like I said, I'll take you through the key new details. And yeah, this is our initial first run review of the Hoka Oni Oni Clifton 8. So let's get into those key details. The first being the price. It's £125 in the UK, $130 in the US. The men's shoe weighs in at 250 grams and has a 5mm drop with 29mm stack height in the heel and 24mm in the forefoot. The women's shoe weighs in at 215 grams and has a 26mm heel stack height and 21mm at the forefoot. The big changes from the Clifton 7 are mainly around the lighter EVA midsole foam used that offers a softer ride, an extended heel crash pad, more breathable mesh upper and plush tongue for added comfort. There's more rubber in the outsole to add durability, and there's an early stage Meta rocker to offer a smoother ride. In terms of the upper, it's made from 100% vegan materials and it's the engineered mesh kind like the Clifton 7. The big changes from the Clifton 7 are really the lighter EVA midsole foam that offers a softer ride. There's also an extended heel crash pad, that more breathable mesh upper and plush tongue for added comfort, and there's more rubber in the outsole to add durability. So I've done one run in this shoe. That was a kind of slow and steady 8-mile run, predominantly on road. I did dart off into a couple of parks to shelter from this mini heat wave that we're having, but generally it was road running. What I found overall is that it's a shoe that generally felt fine to run in. Now, you know, over the last few months and probably a year, I've kind of used a lot of daily trainer shoes that have a little bit more kind of lively in terms of the bounce and the kind of cushioning that you get. Now, I think with this shoe, now I haven't run in a Clifton shoe before, but you know, I understand kind of what the profile and the characteristics are and what it tries to deliver. And I think even with this lighter cushioning, I think it's all about promoting kind of consistency in your run, and something that's firmer than what I'm used to in terms of running in, but actually it's kind of a good balance. And I think if you like something that's not too aggressive and that kind of soft cushioning, but you want that little bit of firmness as well, this feels like a good balance in terms of keeping you kind of stable, consistent, which makes it a good kind of option for kind of longer runs and those kind of steady runs, which I think in my run, that's where it felt nicest. I did try and kind of pick up the pace a little bit in a couple of places, but I don't know, it didn't feel massively suited for that for me personally. Like I said, I kind of prefer something a little bit kind of bouncy in that cushioning, but I think if you wanted something that had that kind of good mix of firm and kind of comfortable feel and just promotes a kind of, like I said, consistent feel of running and getting you through those transitions nicely and I think efficiently, that's kind of what I felt from this shoe on that run. In terms of the so in terms of kind of the comfort and the upper in terms of that run, generally no major issues from that point of view. I think the main things that I kind of really noticed was the padding on the tongue, which has kind of been improved from the last Clifton. I think it's just enough padding to kind of take that pressure away from the laces, which nothing really much to observe from my point of view in that front in terms of that run. Again, the heel collar, I think enough padding, no issues there for me either. In terms of this upper and this engineered mesh upper, which is similar to what we've got on the last Clifton, Tom mentioned in his review, he kind of had a little bit of kind of pressing on the kind of sides of the forefoot. And I had a little bit of that. I definitely think when I got a little bit further into that run or a little bit kind of later in that run, I did notice that a little bit. And I think It's a narrow shoe. It reminds me a little bit of the fit that I get on the Rocket X in terms of that narrow fit, but there is a wide option, so that's worth keeping in mind if you wanted that little bit more space. But generally it was fine. That issue kind of, I think, generally went away for me after a while. So yeah, no major issues in terms of the comfort. I think it's I think the overall feeling, it's kind of a nice consistent running shoe. I definitely feel it's better suited, at least for me, on that kind of slower, steady kind of pace. And from that point of view, it feels like a solid shoe, and it felt nice enough to run with. So there you go, overall okay in that first run. I think, you know, personally, I prefer a little bit more kind of the bounce in that cushioning and that in midsole, that for my kind of type of daily trainer. But I think anyone who wants a kind of good balance, I think that's kind of where this shoe kind of delivers. Trying to give you something that keeps you good at steady paces, and one that can kind of hold up over longer distances, potentially, really. In terms of this outsole, great in terms of traction, no major issue. Like I said, I went a little bit off-road. Obviously, there's a little bit more going on, kind of the front and the back of the shoe. It's still a little bit exposed, but I think obviously where the extra kind of rubber has been put is obviously promoting a kind of more stable kind of feeling underfoot. And yeah, it felt nice and controlled to run in. I didn't kind of slip around. Generally in dry conditions, and even in that kind of outings into the kind of parks and into the woody areas, it held up well on that front too. So my initial first run verdict on the Hoka Oni Oni Clifton 8 is that, now obviously, as I said, this isn't my personally ideal daily trainer. I do like something with a little more kind of bounce. I've been kind of mainly running the Saucony Ride. I've enjoyed running the Puma Velocity Nitro, the Nike Pegasus 38. This isn't a shoe like those shoes, particularly from the cushioning point of view, from my experience. As I said, maybe a little bit firmer than those shoes, but I think if you like something that feels better built for the kind of longer distance, you know, something that's durable, this shoe feels like a better fit from that point of view. I think if you're looking for something a little bit more lively, something that maybe you can run a little bit quicker in, I think maybe the Puma Velocity Nitro, I think the Nike as well, and I think the Saucony Ride as well, I think personally offers a little bit more on that front. But that's not to downplay this shoe on that first run. Like I said, I'm probably not the ideal person for this shoe, but it was fine in that first run. It felt comfortable. This colour is amazing as well, I should mention. I'm a big fan of this teal look. I think Nick is as well. So yeah, I think Clifton fans will like this shoe and the kind of changes that have been made. But I think, personally for me, I think there are a lot of strong daily trainer options out there at the moment that might get you a bit more in terms of kind of speed and kind of feel a little bit nippier to run in. But that's not to kind of really say that this is a bad shoe. I think it looks like it's going to be a solid shoe, and it's one that I am going to look forward to getting to know a bit better, and, you know, seeing what it's like on longer distances than I have done already. So there you have it, some initial running thoughts on the Hoka Oni Oni Clifton 8. Now, as I mentioned earlier, everyone in the team is going to get a pair of these, so we will be doing a multi-tester review of this shoe. In the time being, if you've got some questions about our testing, other shoes you want to see it compared to, let us know in the comments. As always, like and subscribe, hit that little bell to find out about our latest videos, and yeah, we'll see you for the next Run Testers video.